Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 110 of Highwind Herald, and a very special episode because it's really episode 1 again, because this is officially our 2024 relaunch of the podcast. We'll get into that in a minute. I am Wolfkins. I have with me my brother and co-host of this show, Soloist. Say hello, Soloist.
Hey, I've prepared a musical number for this moment because it's a very momentous, special moment.
Hold on. Can we play it on YouTube?
I'm going to sing it.
Sing it. Oh, okay. But I mean, like,
I composed an original piece.
Original piece. Go for it. Go for your original piece.
Do, 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 do. Brothers reunited together once more to talk about Cactar and maybe Cloud Strife.
You could have said even more. Or,
even more.
Rhymed it or something.
I made it up on the spot.
I love it. That's our new intro. So let's just talk for a minute about what's been going on, what the show is, what the show is going to be. So for those of you that have been with us since the beginning, we've been doing this since 2019, 2020. When did we start this?
No, it was 2020. It wasn't
2020. Okay.
Yeah, or maybe the tail end of 2019.
It was definitely a COVID endeavor. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
So, we decided, this is fun. We love Final Fantasy. We'd kind of wanted to do a podcast, so we started it. And for the very longest time, we were definitely a weekly podcast. So we put out episodes every Friday, and we did that for 2 years or so.
Yeah.
Fast forward to come to the end of 2023, life just kind of happened. And I kind of was going back looking through what we did, and we had become a monthly podcast at best. Because we had, I think starting in September, we went like September, October, November, December.
I noticed that too. I went back and looked on the website and saw that.
Right. So I was like, all right, dude, some things happened. Our normal recording date got kind of messed up. So we had to find a different time, and then those times ended up not really working for us. So, we haven't gotten a lot of listeners in the last couple months, as you would imagine. I mean, come on, one episode, a month, we kind of dropped off, but we are still here, and I think that we've finally kind of gotten things back together, and we're doing what we're kind of doing as a relaunch. So we have a brand new logo. So a new logo that, who is it that you got to commission the art for us?
Good old Star Blossom.
Star Blossom, that's right.
Let me double check. I don't know if she's still doing commissions. I haven't talked to her in a long
Commissions
time.
are closed according to her Twitter.
It is? Okay.
Star Blossom J, I think, is her on Twitter. She's great. Yeah. So our new logo does feature some of the old hallmarks of our logo. So you've got the crystal in the background. It's taken more of a background approach. And now you have the foreground is Squall and Zidane talking to each other. We're also doing videos of our podcast now. So not only are we going to have the podcast up like places we always do, you can kind of watch, if you want to watch us talk. We've got that on YouTube. And I've kind of just put our faces over Squall and Zidane's face. But sometimes I don't know why we've been doing a podcast, but sometimes soloists will hold stuff up to the camera, and so I figured, why not? We're recording it. It doesn't take anything extra. Let's just record it that way. So that's the first thing. You will be able to find the videos of these if that's the way you like to listen to podcasts. We have a new website, a website that I designed. I think it's a lot better than our old website. I will keep that one updated weekly. That basically keeps our, most recent episodes. I've decided I'm going to do like a screenshot or a fan art of the week and just kind of feature that on our website.
Yeah.
So we've got one page dedicated to that. Right now, I've got the Dawn Trail guy. I don't know what's his name. Meteor, is that the FF14 character?
Yeah, Meteor.
Yeah. Who's supposedly you. So right now, that's this week. So I'm going to change that every week and just think, throw up some cool screenshots or fan art or something like that. Just, because. Let's see, what else, dude? What else? We got some other things I know. The website was the big one for me, I thought. Well, I was very proud of that.
kind of the idea that Highwind Herald has expanded beyond the scope of
Yeah.
podcasting now because you've been going crazy with Kupo Quest.
Yeah,
And
so
Kupo
that one,
Quest is yeah, it's going awesome. I'm really looking forward to finally doing my Final Fantasy XIV series on this channel that I've
mhm,
been talking about for over a year. The
yeah.
character is made and the screenshot was posted on Twitter of Findle Fiddlesticks, who has the best hairdo in all of Eorzea, getting ready to just and absolutely defend and protect all of Eorzea with his mighty shield.
Fiddlesticks, by the way, a D&D character from solo played one shot I did for you, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
D&D and Final Fantasy all tied up together. Yeah, speaking of Kupo Quest, that is still going strong. I mean, for the last couple months, Kupo Quest has really been the main thing that Highwind Herald's been producing. Because that one still stayed pretty consistent. We're closing in on 50 episodes there. That is a D&D 5e actual play set in a homebrew world, so no specific world for Final Fantasy, but it's got a lot of Final Fantasy elements. But yeah, so basically what Solos is saying was we're expanding a little bit. So we went from nothing to hopefully a lot.
A
So
network. It's not a podcast. Now it's a
it's a
network.
network.
It's a
Still
network.
still the
This is
same
the
two people.
this is the Highwind Herald podcast. Well, we have an extended universe now. It's like the MCU.
Yeah.
MSU. No, that's my college. It's like the
MS.
MCU.
Oh, you're giving away a lot of personal information with that.
Oh, right.
So, people Googling right now, MSU.
Look,
So,
still
yeah,
getting
so
my chin off.
that's kind of what I wanna to just kind of say is the podcast is here, the podcast is back. We will be back to a either weekly or biweekly. I mean, I want to commit to at least doing biweekly if something comes up, soloist. So,
Mhm.
I just don't want to fall asleep on it again. But yeah, new website, check that out. It's highwindherald.com still, but it redirects to the new website. Hopefully it just looks a little better. I think it looks a little more professional. And I'd like to get back into maybe getting some people on here and stuff like that. But yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
more content that we want to put up on the YouTube channel as well. So beyond just this podcast that we talk about, we want to do some stuff with just video content as well. So I know that Soloist is doing some Final Fantasy 14 and things like that. So
It's
yeah,
exciting, like, different series that we can both run on our own, things we can run together,
yeah,
our dreaded, whenever
that's
it finally
coming.
happens, Final Fantasy Chronicles playthrough.
We've been talking
Um,
about that so long. People who have listened to the show aren't even going to believe it's a thing, dude. Like
but
they're
if it
yeah,
happens, like, yeah, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be a big day,
uh-huh,
and, I'm excited. I just miss making content. I haven't done it really a whole lot in my personal life here a lot because I've been so
true.
busy, but
Yeah,
I'm having finally I got time. I made my schedule work. It's not really less busy, but I kind of flexed it around a little bit to give me time to do content again.
that's
And I'm
good.
getting back into my own streaming and I'm excited to get into this. Pretty much anytime I make Final Fantasy content, I think it's going to be for Highwind Herald and not for my personal
I think that's fair.
things.
There
Yeah.
was a time when because we were kind of the way we were with the podcast in my head. Because what I do, my other not day job is I stream and I do mostly tabletop stuff. So I do either D&D or tabletop games or card games like Magic. So I was like, I could maybe upload High or Kupo Quest to my thing, but it's Final Fantasy, so it's staying on Highwind
Yeah.
Herald's. It's staying on Highwind
And
Herald's
I can
main
use
YouTube channel. So
Highwind Herald to vent my desires to go back 10 years ago and be a Let's Player again. Because really, the most fun
sure,
games to Let's Play are Final Fantasy games, and I may as well just
sure.
upload them to Highwind Herald at that point, too.
Yeah. Do it,
So,
do it. So, yeah, so we do have Highwind Herald is back is what we're telling you. This is the official
it's
announcement of our rebrand.
exciting! Woo!
Season 2, I guess, what we're calling this.
That's 109 episodes is a long season.
Yeah, it's like an anime season, right? Isn't that how
It's
they
like we're
do it?
watching One Piece.
Yeah. Uh, so for those of you who are just tuning in, because maybe you found this on YouTube, because we some of our episodes up on YouTube before, but they were crappy. I mean, weren't they just overlaid with like like here's a
Yeah,
picture? Yeah. So if you're just tuning in, you haven't missed much. I mean, it's been 109 episodes, but it's a podcast. You don't need to start at number one. Just join
no.
in now. Here's how we
Yeah.
normally do it. Our top of the show, we usually have a trivia question. I do the even numbers, Soloist does the odd numbers. I totally blanked on this because I was so excited about the relaunch. So I'm gonna just come up with one off the top of my head. It's probably gonna be super easy. I'm gonna keep talking like this because right now what I'm doing is I'm venting. I'm vamping. I'm trying to think of something. Um, but there's a lot of pressure because it's the 2024 relaunch, and I feel like I should have a really, really good one, but I don't.
So make it obnoxiously easy.
Obnoxiously easy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What? Okay. Okay. How many materia slots does Cloud's original weapon have?
3?
Oh, it's 2, baby.
That's also what I thought. I don't remember that. That's not
Uh,
easy.
what's its name? What's it called?
Buster Sword?
Yeah, you got it.
That's
I love
easy.
the confidence. Okay, Buster. I love the confidence with which you asked that. So wow. Okay. Normally, so started off easy for like 2 or 3 episodes, and then we decided to just make them obnoxiously hard. But we've learned a lot, I think, amongst ourselves with
Weirdly
trivia.
enough, yeah.
So, also, if you're just tuning in, we do go off topic just a bit. Some of our favorite things to mention: Pokemon Unite, even though neither of us have played that in a year.
Yeah,
What's the
literally.
other thing we talk about a lot? You like to talk about WoW and One Piece a lot.
Well, I'm getting burnt out on WoW, so I just want to talk about One Piece.
Disney Dreamlight Valley and Diablo come up a lot from me. But we always
Hey,
try to rein it back in, okay?
all of them were probably inspired by Final Fantasy VII somehow,
All of
except for
them.
Disney.
If you give me time,
You can find something.
I can think of like a 6 degrees of separation connection to that.
Yep.
Anyway, here's the deal. We actually haven't recorded an episode since November. We posted one in December, but it was a couple weeks late because I just dropped the ball on uploading it because that's how busy things got. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and we're not going to get through all of it, right? Also,
no.
we have a tradition for our first episode of the year where we kind of look back on the resolutions we made the past year and see how we did on those.
I don't remember mine at all.
That will be next week.
Okay, cool.
That's too much for
I
this
think
one
that
episode.
gives me 1 week to beat Final Fantasy 13.
No. Your time's up for completing them. It's just we're going to talk about them next week. Oh, dude, don't worry. I missed mine. I am almost positive my 2 resolutions were to beat 16 and 6, neither of which I did.
Well, I'm fairly certain one of mine was to beat 8.
You might have actually got one.
I beat 8.
Historically, you have not.
Hey, I beat 8 and I liked it.
I am very proud of you. So we're not going to do that. We are going to talk about some of the big major things that have been going on in Final Fantasy for the past month or 2. Did you beat 8 since our last episode, or had you beat it by then?
I had beat it before then. I think we did a review episode.
Did we? That seems like something I would remember. I don't think we did.
No,
I think we planned on it.
I think I gave my opinions on it, and that's about it.
Yeah. Ooh, we should do like a deep dive.
And my love for Zell.
Your love for Zell, yes. You and Zell.
Such a stupid character.
So let's talk, dude. Nothing big has happened, right? I mean, one of the biggest games for Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy XIV. I mean, I don't think anybody would argue with that. But nothing really happened, right? I mean,
actually, no, I don't think so. Nothing interesting anyway.
Yeah, so probably nothing on the 14 front to talk about.
Well, I honestly think that we should not talk about today the expansions announced for Final Fantasy 16.
I should no, I don't think
you haven't finished it, and I can't talk about it without spoiling the game.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we should avoid that. But
Let's
the 14, I don't know if they have an expansion coming out or not. I know 16 has 2, but 14 I haven't. Have you heard anything? I haven't heard anything.
Let's see. There's something. Dawn something. Breaker. Trail? Dawn Trail.
Dawnbreaker.
Not only, of course, but they had announced that, before we recorded, but they've been announcing, I think we got 3 new jobs now. 2 normal jobs, right? And a limited job. And I see you hanging your head because we all know how you feel about limited jobs. I don't know if
Well,
you were
to
in the
be fair, if they were real enough limited jobs, you basically just have another MMO, and at that point, okay.
yeah. I mean, 14 has like 7 games in one anyway.
They do.
I mean, 14 has I mean, there was a time when I was playing 14, and I've not played very much lately just because it is kind of that drought season and I've not been into raiding. But there was a time, one summer, where all I was doing was Gold Saucer. And that's not to say I wasn't spending a lot of time in game. I was, like, trying to get those mounts, and I was just Gold Saucer every day and just having a blast. So, yeah, there's a lot. But so we got the Blue Mage, limited job. Beastmaster apparently
There
is
it
coming
is.
out as another limited job. What do you think about that?
Outside of looking at the screenshot for Beastmaster, I've looked at nothing into it.
Hmm.
That's it. I've actually watched the trailer and everything, but no,
We
I don't
don't
know
have
anything
much
about it.
yet.
I don't know anything
Yeah, we
about
don't
it.
have much yet, but I guess I'm asking is what are your thoughts on Beastmaster being a limited job? Because we had when we were guessing at what the next jobs would be, Beastmaster was top of our list for both of us.
Yeah, it seems like limited jobs are based on things that you can interact with and learn from monsters. So it's probably going to be about
Yeah,
taming and just having a
fair,
pet. Which for
fair.
some reason I don't know why they can't just incorporate that into the real game. Blue mage I understand because it changes your rotation so drastically, but I guess
Sure.
maybe you're using abilities directly from your beast. Maybe I don't know.
Would that make it too similar to Blue Mage? No, I mean if you're basically just
Yeah,
stealing I don't know.
that's also what I'm thinking.
My view of limited jobs is I feel like they put jobs there that they want to let be overpowered, right? I think
Hmm.
they think of jobs and think these are really great. We want to get those in the game, but we really don't want to balance around them. Because we've
Maybe.
talked before about Blue Mage would be a nightmare to balance around.
Yeah.
And I think if you've got a situation with like being able to tame who knows how many beasts, that could be another thing. And if you think about, here we go, if you think about back to WoW, I feel like WoW always had trouble balancing around hunter pets. Because there was
Hmm.
always, until
Until
they,
until they
yeah,
just made them all the same. Yeah.
exactly. Because there was
Yeah. And
always
took
one
out the fun
pet
of it.
you had to have if
Yeah.
you really wanted to be raiding. So I feel like it was always a challenge to balance around the just
Mhm.
pure inevitability of what you could do. And if you take a look at, now I'm bringing in my stuff, like the D&D 5e Ranger, that Beastmaster has a similar problem with, they underpowered a little bit based on not being able to fully anticipate what you might be bringing to the table. So I think maybe they're making this limited job to not worry about that and just say have fun with it, Just
Probably, and
here you
that's a
go.
fine. And hey, that's fine. Mostly all I do is single player stuff in this game anyway, so maybe I should just get over it and play it. I don't know.
You should at least Blue Mage is your favorite. You should at least try it,
Oh, I
dude.
love Blue Mage. Ah, it's so fun.
Have you ever
Well,
played it
like
in
not in
14?
the game, not in 14. It's my favorite job in Final
Have you even
Fantasy.
unlocked it?
Yeah, I've unlocked it just so I can have the armor set.
Okay. There's that.
Heck yeah, it's cool looking. Now the other classes though are the interesting things. So Viper, we've already talked about Viper. It's
Talk about
Zidane.
Viper. Yeah.
It's just I will be maining Viper. Um, I feel obligated. I feel like it's dirty if I don't. It it looks
Sure.
really good. I just
Well,
don't know why it's not called Thief.
they for some reason they just seem really reluctant to put the thief in the game. I don't know. I don't know why,
That was a
but
good chance to just call it Thief and go
yeah, I
on.
don't
But
know. It's Zidane, and actually, I think Viper was our last episode or 2 episodes ago, so we
it
talked
was.
about that. What do you think of
Now
the
I
newest
want to
one, though?
talk about Pictomancer,
Yeah,
bro. I've got to be honest.
honesty's great. Let's hear it.
It might be my favorite class they've ever introduced into this game.
That's funny because
It
it's my least
is
favorite.
it is so unique.
It is
And
unique.
when I see jobs come into Final Fantasy, I want one of two things.
Yeah,
I either want something we know that's nostalgic, like Beastmaster,
sure,
something
sure.
like, oh look, check it's like Smash Bros. Reveals. You're checking off characters you want. Or something so obnoxiously unique that is a reference to one character in one Final Fantasy game, which is Realm in Final Fantasy VI.
Oh!
Yeah.
I was like, who is it referencing? Oh, I forgot all about
Realm.
her.
It's
Yeah.
referencing Realm, and
I
it's
like this.
so freaking unique. I saw you're
Yeah.
fighting with paint, your weapon's a giant I legitimately was like, first
I'll
of
be
all,
honest.
why not just call it Painter?
You reminded me, because Pictomancer does sound better. You reminding me about Realm makes me like this more. because my first thought was, this is so out of nowhere. The Verge, by the way, their headline says Final Fantasy XIV's new class will unleash your inner Bob Ross, which I think is hilarious. Shout out to The Verge for such a great
And
headline.
it looks like Caster, and it will be the first time I play Caster in 14 and like actually play it and stick with it, other than getting a Black Mage to like 50.
Yeah.
I am so utterly excited for it because when I first saw it, I was like, huh? And then I saw the weapon, I saw the paint flinging around. I'm not kidding, dude. I loved how cool it is.
Yeah.
We're going from fighting with a new class of an undead, you know, you're the Grim Reaper. Yeah, and then you're like a almighty sage, like one of the most powerful Final Fantasy jobs, to a painter. It's like you're fighting with paint now. It's so cool.
And that actually is why, and for those of you longtime listeners, normally it's him being very, not negative, but more level-headed, leaning negative, and I'm like, love rainbows and sunshine all the time.
Not now. Now it's
not
me.
in this. It's part of the relaunch. All right, I'm bad cop now. But no, I when I first saw it, I was like, that's cool. But it didn't feel very Final Fantasy to me, so it wasn't exactly what I wanted. And then I reached out. I was asking some people around on socials, and we got Heart Attack 143 on Twitter said zero interest in the Pictomancer, is what they said. And so I asked them why, and they said it's the theme. The theme is just too out there. It seems like it would take me out of the game and gameplay. And honestly, I agreed with that because it seems so different than some of the other classes we have, and it does seem stylistically not to match. But you having brought Realm up does make me now appreciate the super deep cut.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
The super deep. But to that note, also, like, I don't understand how maybe it's just because there's bards in Final Fantasy, but how a painter is more out of touch than music.
Sure, but when you look at the bard in 14 is kind of reflavored as an archer.
Yeah,
they don't actually attack with music like they do in the other Final Fantasies. They attack with arrows. So, yeah.
What else? I mean, I don't know. No one predicted that, first of all. And and I think pushing the boundaries of something you're not used to within the world, I think is good for the world because it's pushing the boundaries of what you expect from it. And this whole expansion is about new dawn, a new story, a new world, a relaunch like this. So I think
this is
relaunch,
the Dawn Trail of
the more you break those boundaries and make it feel different but familiar, the better the game's going to be in the long run.
I think you're right.
I think it's too. I don't know, man. I am a sucker for I am a sucker for people who fight with weird things. Like when I first started watching Hunter x Hunter and I thought Gon was going to fight the whole series with a fishing rod, I loved it. Like I love the idea of a kid beating up giant evil looking anime dudes with a fishing rod. I love things like that. So being able to walk in and fight Heidelin, the goddess of this world,
with a paintbrush
literally makes me want to. I logged in yesterday. I logged in and played this game yesterday when I literally was so excited. Now I'm still going to main Viper because that's more my thing.
But
I'm definitely going to be leveling
this is ranged. Not just range, but magical range, right?
And so who knows? If I love it enough, maybe I'll main in. I don't know. That'll be a different thing for me. That might get me playing the game longer.
I don't see anything pulling me away from Red Mage, but I am at a point to where I've played Red Mage so much. I'm looking to try something new, but I do prefer magical ranged, and the other magical range just haven't really done it for me. Black Mage just wasn't really doing it for me.
And the only reason Black Mage came close is because I really, really like the armor. That's about it.
But isn't Black Mage the least mobile of the magic casters? And that's the thing you don't like.
Yeah, they just like plant a circle down and they have to stay in it for the power boost.
Yeah, well, that's like that Arcane. I hated that Arcane on WoW at one point. Same thing. I don't like it.
They still have that too. Yeah.
We got another response on Twitter. I want to just give a shout out. Jane Husa 66502. I'm so excited for Beastmaster. I've been waiting for it since the first time I played Final Fantasy XIV. I think you and I are in the same boat there because we've been pitching it for years.
What's the weapon they're using? Did they say that?
I haven't seen that yet. No,
Mm,
I'm still
okay.
thinking a whip, like you said.
Yeah, me too.
They go on. I'm also excited for Pictomancer because it looks like a lot of fun. I'm not sure about the limited Beastmaster though. I hope it's not too limited. So that kind of goes back to what we were saying. I think that I think that Jane kind of hits it on the head here with what she's saying. Is just that what does that limited job mean for Beastmaster? Now, like you said, it kind of has this little niche that it can fall into with Blue Mage, and then maybe they just have their own little sub game that they could be playing together. So I don't know.
Seriously. And honest to God, if we get one limited job per expansion, if we get up to 4, and then they could just do their own little side game together, that'd be
Sure.
great, I think. I
I
think
mean,
that'd be great.
even if, to be honest, even if Beastmaster is just about collecting, because don't you remember that time when I was playing WoW? All I was doing was flying around, filling my stables with like as many fun exotic animals as I could find. That
Yeah.
in 14 would be amazing.
That's
I mean,
basically all it is now, isn't it?
that's what I want. That would be
Yeah.
great. I don't need it to
Since I'm collecting abilities instead.
with what Blue Mage.
Yeah, and
Yeah, but
maybe beasts now.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm
Like,
hoping for.
I can't help but say, it's just like, I think about this all the time, especially now more than ever. Final Fantasy XIV, if you wanna become a streamer and you want a niche game, this is probably the best niche game in the world. Because when you're sick of them, like, pushing the raids, you can go play Animal Crossing, or you can
Yeah.
go, play mini games, or you can go hunt for stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you never run out of things to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's like games and games, and I really like it for that. And I think that you and me, and maybe some others out there, just kind of need to reshape our focus about the limited jobs. Because I know you kind of get hung up on they have a lower level cap, they can't do raids, but 14 has made very clear that that's not all its game's about. And I think that's kind of a WoW mentality that even I sometimes have trouble breaking. Is what's the point of leveling this if I can't do it in in-game content?
Yeah.
Whereas 14's like, what do you mean? That's not the only in-game content. This is all in-game content. Like this is content. This is, something for you to do. So if you
Mhm.
don't want to raid. And I had struggled with that too, getting out of that mindset of, well, what's it for if it's not for that? Which is weird because I'm not even a raider. I'm not even pushing that.
We would
So
love to announce Dawn Trail day 1. The Highwind Herald Free Company will be launching, and Wolfkins is raid leading us to victory.
listen, I like my free company too much to lead. I would not mind raiding.
I'm not
I
kidding, me neither.
I
If
would
you
not
did it,
mind
I
it.
would do it. If you did it, I would 100% do it.
I'll
I
get back to you
honestly
on that.
would.
I wouldn't
I would
mind it.
100% do it.
I wouldn't mind raiding more casually. Like, I don't wanna do these 4
No.
raids a week, 3 hours a raid.
Well,
I wouldn't
I
I
will
don't know.
say I have raided with a semi-serious WoW guild, and that people usually only do 2 days a week. And even that became a little much for me.
Yeah. I want, like,
I'd
1
like
day
to
a
be
week.
I wanna be a solid part of someone's B team.
All I want okay, this is if we were
Into
and
the
and
B team.
listeners, if you're interested in this, please let us reach out and let us know. I want a mainly social raid that we play once a week. We just have fun with it. We get done what we can. Just a core group of 8 people that just have fun doing it. Like, I don't wanna push the ladder. I don't wanna try to be the world first. I don't wanna make this a second job. I do enough content. I don't wanna give up, like, all of my free time. But if we had a once a week
That'd be so
get
fun.
together, just, shoot the
Keep me
crap.
in this game longer than to just finish the story, please.
Right. Yes,
Please.
you
I've
specifically, because you have trouble.
always
Yeah.
always wanted to push rating in 14, but the reason I push it in WoW and not in retail WoW and not in 14 is because that's where my friends are interested in pushing that rating content. That's where my friends that do that
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
And I'll keep doing that in WoW if any of those people happen to be listening. Don't freak out, but I pay for both subscriptions. I may as well push both,
Yeah.
right? I
I
still
wouldn't mind
pay
doing
for
it.
both.
Wouldn't mind doing it.
I
So,
would I would love to get that Viper going. I would tank it even. I don't care
yeah.
if we needed it. I have tanks.
Let's I'll put some feelers out. Hey, if you're listening and you're interested in maybe once a week raiding in Dawn Trail and just again chill, we'll try. I'm not saying like we're just gonna be like we will try, but not anything super high pressure, anything like that. Reach out, let us know if we can get 8 people that are interested in doing that and commit to once a week. Then I say let's go
Yeah.
for it.
My New Year's
Why not?
resolution is to get TJ Starman playing with us.
You know what?
He
That's a
would
good
never.
resolution. I know he's not an MMO guy, but we need to.
Nerd.
Oh, and we know he's not an MMO guy because of how hard both of those guys were shooting down 14 during
I
our
went back and listened to some of those when he was re-uploading them,
yeah.
and our list was whack, man.
Or yeah, you all
Some of that
sucked.
stuff was whack.
My list was great. Your all's lists were messed up.
I don't know about 14 going out that early.
14 should have at least made the final four.
They
I'm
should
just saying
have.
it should have at least made the final four. The fact that
think
it
I
went out that
redid-
early was just pure blind MMO hate. I'm saying it.
I redid my tier list for Final Fantasy games a few weeks ago. I don't know why. I think it was around the 16 hype.
Okay.
I'll find it. We can continue and I'll find it and share what I thought. But 14 was a lot high. Here it is. My best tier, within my best tier, I had 9, 16, 7, 15, and 14 as a whole.
Okay. As a whole. Yeah. Okay.
I thought I did one where I
broke out all the expansions.
And I definitely put like
ARR low.
I put ARR low. I did. Well, hold on. This is that list.
Did original Final Fantasy 14 even make your list? Because
I don't think it was even on
have.
the tier list. Yeah, this is that list. In the best tier, that's Endwalker.
Okay.
I had Heaven's Word and Great.
Sure.
Stormblood and Good. I must have been trying to just balance out the tiers and make them good. And then a Realm Reborn and mid, but mid isn't bad. It's just kind of like C.
Did you skip one? Or what did you tell me?
I did best, great, good, mid, bad, terrible.
Where did you put Shadowbringers?
In great.
Oh, so you kind of just went backwards. So in your opinion, they get better as they go.
Well, no, Endwalker,
I don't disagree.
Endwalker, Heaven's Word, Shadowbringers.
Oh yeah, so Shadowbringers and those, yeah. Heaven's Word and Stormblood swapped.
I'm just a Heaven's Word fanboy. I think it has the best zones in the game.
It's got some of the best music for sure.
Oh,
and I'll die on this hill. Stormblood is great. Like I'll die on that hill.
They're all great.
It's not my favorite, but people are way too hard on Stormblood.
And maybe they're hard on it because they were like in-game pushers, and maybe the end game was bad. But who knows?
I don't know. The story's a little fractured just because it kind of takes place on two fronts. So I can kind of see that it's a little fractured, but I don't care.
Anything to do with Xenos is great.
Yeah, it was.
He's like my favorite Final Fantasy villain, I think.
Did we ever discuss who'd win in a fight, Xenos or Sephiroth?
We said Xenos, yeah.
Did we say Xenos? I think so too.
Well, we said Xenos because he's on the same toe as the Warrior of Light, who can beat everybody except for Jack.
Oh yeah, that was it. We did have this conversation. It always comes back to Jack. Yeah, I forgot about that.
He just gets everybody has emotions that get in their way. No one has the level of anger and tunnel vision that Jack has.
Oh my God. Do you think we'll ever get a sequel to Stranger of Paradise?
We don't need one, man. It's perfect.
Yeah, but it was fun.
Where did I put Stranger of Paradise in my list, actually? I think I put it in great. I did.
Because it was great. Did you ever finish it even?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And I thought the game was hard, and I did beat the last boss.
Didn't it end cool? Didn't it end cool, though? Like, wasn't that wait, can we spoil it? Has it been long enough?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying right now, we're going to talk a little bit about spoilers of Stranger of Paradise. Wasn't that a cool twist with you not being the Warriors of Light, but you being your companions being the four fiends? I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So, chef's kiss.
Literally, and they had an explanation for how awkward and weird the dialogue was early on. Like it all made sense, and it was just like How do you do that?
People who gave up on this game early because of one thing or another really missed out, I think,
They did.
because the way everything ties around in the end of that and how they make it. Oh, I was blown away actually because I was not expecting something that good from Stranger Paradise. I wasn't.
Man, I
I
just I
definitely
loved
wasn't.
it. I beat it last year, I think. I loved it,
And that took
dude.
you a while. I mean, I
It
was I
did.
was I was in game grinding that game for a while.
I
Then the
just
expansion
hope
came out, and I was like, "Oh, this they made this harder."
I just hope that I don't do with 7 Rebirth what I did with Stranger of Paradise, but I do with 7 Rebirth what I did with 16,
And
where
that
I
is,
beat it within an instant,
oh yeah,
within the
I
week it comes out.
yeah, I don't blow through. I'm still working through 16.
Yeah.
You know why I'm not playing it now? I
Disney
keep get
Dreamlight Valley.
it's always Disney Dreamlight Valley, okay? That's always in the background. They did just have an expansion. So
Well, yeah.
yes.
Yeah, of course.
Mario RPG, man. Every time I sit down, I'm like, RPG. I've been playing that
I
instead.
haven't loaded it yet, man. I've
Uh,
only been watching anime. I haven't played any games.
I've got like an hour. I'm like, okay, I can play 16 or RPG. All right, Mario
RPG.
RPG every
It's
time.
easier to play Mario RPG in bite-sized things.
It definitely
Final
is.
Fantasy 16 gets to where it's like a movie every time you go to
Okay,
play it.
now we're switching gears because I want to talk about 16 for a minute. Where I am, I just beat Titan. Okay, so I just actually beat him. So you fight him
Incredible.
like twice, but he's like 6 boss fights in one.
Yep.
The fight itself took almost an hour.
Yes, sir.
It was one of the coolest fights. It was one of the best sequences in a game I've ever experienced.
I
At the
know.
same time, I was like, "Holy poop, when is this gonna end?" Like,
It's exhausting,
it was
but it's and
I got to the point where I'm praying like, "Please, if the power goes out now, I will probably never play this game again." You know?
I love hearing when people make it to Titan because you'll never believe that you're going to have 2 more bosses that surpass that
In level of
in
length or coolness or both?
sheer epicness,
Okay,
not in length.
I will tell you, epicness, probably one of the most epic fights I've had in a game.
In video games, yeah,
I was just like, okay. It did go on just a little long. I was
it
like,
did,
I
it
was
did.
not expecting 50 minutes of a boss fight, right?
It's long.
So, but cool. And there's a point where he like comes back for the 4th time, and even Clive's like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "I'm so with you, Clive. I'm so
Golly,
with you."
Hugo Kupka, just stay down.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's he said. I think that's what he said.
Kupka.
Yeah. When he finally
Dude,
gets it, it's so satisfying. It's just
it
like
is.
I gotta go. Like I
But
wasn't
man,
expecting this.
the next boss fight is incredible, and in my opinion, the final boss fight is
Let me ask you. Roughly how far through this game am I? Like how many hours?
you're well over halfway.
So I'm getting towards the end.
Yeah, you only have 3 more Ifrit fights left.
Okay, I should probably just commit and finish it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that I don't like it. That's not what I'm saying. It's because I feel like I need to dedicate more time, and I feel like it's one of those games like I don't want to I don't want to remote play it. You know, I want to be
Mhm.
sitting in front of my PS5. I want the full experience. I just don't have as much time for that. Whereas with
Yeah,
Mario RPG, I can be like and go wherever I
in your bed
want.
and go to your bed, yeah.
Yeah,
It
but
that's just simply how it is. I mean, 16 got a lot of hate a few months after it came out, and I just don't think a lot of Final Fantasy purists. Again, I've complained about you all. I love you all with all my heart, but I complain about you all being turn-based purists and hating on it just because it's not turn-based, but it's genuinely an incredible game.
I love the battle system, and I will
Oh my
say
gosh, it's
I
so fun.
I did, I was worried about the difficulty, so I did put it on the mode that gives you rings. I am using one accessory. It's the one that just gives me a prompt for the dodging because
Mhm.
I am just notoriously bad at dodging. So it'll just be like it just gives you like a second. Like it's like push square now to dodge. That's the one I'm using. And the game really with that, it's not
The game is
easy.
easy. The game is
And
so
the
easy.
game is pretty easy. I probably could be playing it without that, but now I'm just so far in, I'm just so used to it.
It took me, like, 2 tries to beat the super boss.
Oh, really?
Um,
Okay.
which is like the super boss had this game is getting DLC written all over it because it was nothing
Sure.
special. Like it was
Okay.
one of those board hunt things, and it was just a
Yeah.
dude. It was like a creature. Like it wasn't like I miss the
Mhm.
days of walking into Olympus Coliseum and Sephiroth from another freaking game comes out. Those are super bosses,
Yeah,
not these
well,
random creatures.
if I think about it, that's kind of been the super boss go-to for a little bit. Wasn't 10 and 12, weren't the super bosses both just hunts on those 2 or
They
something like that?
were.
I thought
It's
so.
7 Rebirth. I'm telling you, man, they need to pull a switcheroo and just have Sora be the super boss.
They're not gonna do
How
that.
goofy would that be? Or like
That
Riku
that
or
wouldn't
like
fit the tone, they won't do that. Depending on what was the super boss in Remake?
probably something from that digital area thing.
Oh,
Arena,
yeah. Oh, it was, I think it was just Bahamut, wasn't it?
probably.
Yeah, I need them to get a little more creative than that. I like being able to see the super bosses in the world. I love the fear of getting the submarine in Final Fantasy VII, going under the water, and you see Emerald Weapon scrolling around, and you're like, "What the heck is that thing?"
That big green turd
And then
just
he's like
floats
coming at you, and
around.
you're like, "I don't know," and then he just destroys you. I like the fear of
That's
that.
good. I love in
Yeah.
15 when you accept that one hunt and the mountain that you've been looking at the whole game all of a sudden becomes a turtle
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
starts oh
The
my god, that one
Adamantoise
was
or
really
whatever.
cool.
Yeah,
That actually, I think it happens before then even, I don't know.
yeah. And then in 8, there's, like, some stuff you gotta do to ring the bell, and then Omega Weapon's just kind of, like, waiting for you there. I just love
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
That's creepy.
I love stuff like that. I really do.
Yeah, I
So,
like it when the super boss is in the world and you can
yeah,
see it.
yeah.
That's really, really neat.
Menacing, just staring at you.
Omega in 5,
Uh-huh.
literally in the final area, he's just walking around. You're like, "What's this? If
Yep,
you get
and
jumped, you are dead."
he's hard. I don't think I beat him. Which one has
I've
just, like, in a
never
random chest? Which game was that?
Shiryu, that's 5, that's
Is that
Shiryu.
5? You open the chest and it's like,
Yeah.
"Welcome to your death. Ha ha."
5 did not hold any punches toward the
Mm.
end. It was very mean. We got so off topic from Pictomancer.
Well, but we have talked about Final Fantasy consistently. We
We
have
have,
not
that's
we've
a
had a lot to
podcast.
talk about, dude. Like, I mean, we've had so much to talk about, and we're still Final Fantasy. I mean, we didn't go off on a tangent about what the best Pokemon is in Unite.
I
So,
don't even know who's in it anymore.
I don't either. Man,
I saw
I do
Magikarp's coming to it,
there's
whatever
no
that
way they're
means.
putting Magikarp in this
Yeah,
game.
you Google it. It's
Oh
happening.
god.
It's happening. I don't understand, but oh
Oh,
god, it happened. It's happened.
at least he evolves.
Does he?
Uh, he has to. That's I guess they don't. Pikachu doesn't evolve.
I mean, it
Uh,
would be really funny.
anyway, I got one more thing I want to talk about before we kind of wrap things up. This isn't so much Final Fantasy related, but it is tangentially related, and I think it may affect Final Fantasy in the future. What we have seen from Square Enix lately is, I think, inconsistency with their mobile space and games that they deem mobile-ish, like the Racer Chocobo GP. Did you see that Square Enix is shutting down another 2 mobile games?
Which
Engage
one?
Kill and the Full Metal Alchemist mobile. So,
A Full Metal Alchemist mobile
yep,
game?
exactly.
Yay!
Exactly. So let's see. I think that so they're shutting down both of those new games. This follows the saying bye-bye to Final Fantasy First Soldier. You know, we just saw them do this to Chocobo GP. They've shut down a bunch of other Final Fantasy related titles, Record Keeper and a couple other. They shut down Mobius too,
I
I
think
think.
Dissidia, NT, not
Yeah.
NT,
Oh
Dissidia,
yeah,
Opera
yeah.
Omnia.
Opera. Yeah, they shut that one down.
Yeah, and I don't know if we recorded, but I made some people really mad on Twitter with that one.
You did?
Uh-huh.
Why would you say?
I was being a little bit of a streamer and just was a little hyperbolic. I got this point across a little more aggressively than I should have, but it's
What'd you
just
say?
like, learn your lesson, people. Quit spending money on these Square Enix games. Like everybody who's spent hundreds of dollars on Opera Omnia,
Well,
show me your fancy character now.
that kind of brings me into my next point. What do you think this means for, say, Ever Crisis? Because
I
I'll be
would
honest,
say
I've kind of stopped playing it.
it bodes very badly.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of
Um,
stopped playing it, and I liked Ever Crisis. I wasn't spending a ton of money on it. I would spend a couple bucks here and there.
yeah,
I will do that with mobile games if I'm really enjoying them because I know that's how they get their revenue. They keep going. I'm not a whale. I'll drop $5 for a
yeah.
event pack or whatever. But it's got me nervous to even play it. Like I'm like, I haven't picked it up in a long time. I missed a
It
bunch
will
of
get
events
shut.
and
It will get shut down. Like I'm starting to get into my first ever mobile game right now.
what's that?
Believe it, it's Black Clover Mobile. It's an anime. I like a
Nice.
mobile game.
Nice.
I refuse to spend any money on it because it has getting shut down in a year written all over it.
Sure.
But I love Black Clover, so I'm playing it, and it's really fun. It's like a turn-based RPG going through the story, but I refuse to pay money on it, and I think you should too.
Yeah.
And it's
Or
not it's
yeah.
all principles against how aggressive and money grabbing mobile companies usually are towards younger people about just taking their money. It's like really bad habits growing early.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
All of that aside, these games are getting shut down left and right.
Yeah.
Like your
Yeah.
money's gone. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can tell me, you can justify your purchase to me all you want, but at the end of the day, that money you spent is gone, and you cannot show me what you spent it on anymore. It's
And I think that
gone.
it's important to only spend what you'd be okay losing, right? So, like,
Yeah,
if I spend $5 on a mobile game and it gets shut down in a year and a half,
that's
okay,
$5.
I view that as a $5 game that I got to play for, 18 months. That's
Yeah,
not bad. That's not
no,
bad. Had I spent
$5 a week.
$2,000 or something,
Eh,
then I'm like, wow. So I think that there's that. I think that there is, you need to be willing to view it as a loss because everything's going to shut down eventually,
Yeah,
or you're going to die. I mean, everybody dies. Nothing lasts forever. You know what I mean? But
money is monetary at the end of the day. Yeah, but I just have a big gripe with paying for something that you could possibly in a year not show
a
that you
year is
have.
way too fast to be shutting these games down. I
It is, and
definitely,
it
yeah.
happened. I mean, with
And
Square Enix, it's insane.
it shouldn't be happening from a company like Square Enix. I
And a
can
lot of
see
people
this
like
for
to
these like little startups or whatever. They launch something, they didn't get what they wanted. Square Enix
mhm.
should have a better plan. And they should not
Yeah,
be
they
doing this
should.
over and over and over.
I think it's a bad look.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people like to throw out the counter argument with the mobile thing and bring up MMOs. It's like, well, you're paying $15 a month for a game that could get shut down. Where's all that money going to go? And it's like paying monthly for a live service game that's constantly updated and like funding into and playing is
Mhm.
not the same as spending $2,000 at once on a game that's going
Sure.
to poof in a week.
And also, historically, though, yes, MMOs will eventually shut down. Everybody knows that. But let's look at the longevity of MMOs. Okay. Final Fantasy XI, still going. EverQuest, still going. WoW, still going. Final Fantasy XIV. The big name MMOs,
Still
those
go.
last. Those last. Now, sure, there's others like WildStar comes out, flash and pay, and it's gone in a year or two. You
Mhm.
know, you've got games like that. But the DC Universe Online is still up from what I saw the other day.
Guild Wars
So
2 is still up.
exactly. MMOs have a much better track record of longevity.
Yeah.
Yes. At the
Look at the
end of
track
the
record.
at the end of the day, they will all go offline at some point. But what you'll have there is years or decades worth of entertainment and memories, right?
Yes.
And MMOs specifically are built around community. Like that's the point. They're built
Mhm.
around community. They're built around working in a team. So you make connections and memories that you can't I can't really put a price on it and I justify the payment for that. A
Yeah.
mobile game I play by myself, you know. They
I'm a
have
pooper.
like guilds or alliances or stuff. You don't really talk to those people. They're points on a ladder board for you. And, I do enjoy some of those games. Like I said, I've got the Walking Dead game I really like. I've recently started playing Disney Mirrorverse. I'm really liking that. But it's all the same thing. I'll be like, "Hey, here's a $2 pack. You want that?" "No." "What about this $75 pack?" And I'm like, "Okay, stop. You're getting real
Got
greedy."
me.
But see, this game's been up for a while, and if it's one of those games that goes offline, I've spent $5 on this game.
It
Okay.
just makes me hesitant to get into it. I
What
don't know,
Yeah.
man.
What makes me hesitant to get into Ever Crisis specifically is Square Enix track record. That's the
Yep.
only thing. I feel like they get very trigger happy with shutting things down. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They go through this phase to where I think when other companies might try to take a step back and reevaluate and maybe make some changes, Square Enix just pulls the plug. You know, there's no way they could not have found a way. If you can bring Final Fantasy XIV back from the brink of death and disaster that was, 'cause it was awful, dude. The original Final Fantasy XIV, if you can bring that back, kicking and screaming from the grave, and make it one of the best MMOs ever made, going into its second decade of just consistently good storytelling, then surely to God you could have figured out a way to keep Chocobo GP from shutting down without before a year.
Chocobo GP should have just been a game, not a service. It should have just been a
Exactly.
game.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
I don't get it. Like, I wish they would quit with these mobile games and funnel it into something else. But Square Enix has all these weird, like, 21-year-old entrepreneur ideas. Have you seen their big kick about being concerned
AI
about
and
implementing
NFTs,
AI?
yeah,
Yeah. Like,
yeah,
it's like dude bro, crypto bros. Like, who's
yeah.
running Square Enix nowadays?
It makes me worried for the future. Now, they've been putting out some consistently good games. 14's
Oh,
been
yeah.
consistently good. 16's been good. The problem
17
is
or wait, 7.
a lot of those are the same people involved. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
look at 16 and 14. There's some overlap there
Mhm.
in the higher ups, but it makes me concerned, and they just seem so easy to pull the plug on things that Ever Crisis went from one of the games I'd like to open up daily, I'd do my dailies, to I just am afraid to touch it. Like, and it's not that I don't wanna sink a bunch of money into it. I don't wanna just, like, get really into it and then be like, "Eh, it's going away in March."
That's why I hate these games, man, and I really don't wanna sound like an old timer, but
Boom.
I do miss like a boomer, but I do miss the days of being able to buy a game from one of those things back there, like a Super Nintendo, and just have it forever, and play it, and beat it, and then be like, "Well, I'm done with it," and then a year later, like, "Well, I think I wanna play that game again." You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Now you get a game, and you're like, you may love it just as much as one of those games, but when
yeah.
you're done with it a year later, "I wanna go back to it." Well, it's shut down, you can never play it again.
The server-based ones, yeah, yeah. And games more and more are moving towards, like, live service, cloud-based servers, and those
Yeah.
things are all prone to being shut down.
And
And I
I'll tell
think
you right now, and it's sketchy, but thank God to emulation and the people who emulate games for preserving these
yeah,
things,
and
honestly.
that's the other thing is digital preservation whatever.
Preservation.
Preservate?
Per
Keeping
persever
things around. You know,
per
the digital
like
just
a
keeping that
good old
stuff around. Like, you know, servers from games that are run by unofficial channels for games that have shut down, right? And that kind of stuff will be around for the MMOs. That's another argument for those. When the MMOs start going,
fans will bring them back.
those private servers creep up, right?
WoW private servers are still rampant, and that
Yeah.
game hasn't went
The
anywhere.
Final Fantasy XI, there's one big private server out there that kinda emulates the early game,
That we're gonna play.
right? So, that's another thing with that I think separates MMOs from this just a bit. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and I'm not like I said, I'm actually much more open to mobile gaming than you. I've got a nice tablet, I like doing it. There's nothing I just like to
Well,
sit on the
I'm
couch, watch some TV, mindlessly play one of these auto battlers or something. But I do want to know, even if it's not a monetary thing, that I'll at least be able to play this until I get bored with it. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And
It's like,
not
I don't it doesn't bother me so much when a mobile game will have a you can still play it and enjoy the game,
mm,
even if you're not paying into it. But it's like those paywally ones are like, you're tired, play again in 6 hours or pay
yeah,
$5 to play now. That
yeah.
stuff is that's aggressive.
It's annoying.
That's child gambling.
And Ever Crisis has a stamina system, but they gave me so many stamina potions, I literally couldn't run them out.
Yeah.
Like, I was using them constantly and always had 99.
Well, I
So,
think they're going all in on the stamina being or not
yeah,
the
I
stamina,
mean,
that being their big mobile game. May hopefully. I mean, it'll
yeah,
probably get shut down still because it looks like they're shutting everything down around the release of this game.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I still think that First Soldier was a misstep putting it only on mobile. I think they should have made that. I mean, if you can put Fortnite on 17 different things, they should have done that with First Soldier. It should not have
It
been mobile only. I think it should have been on mobile, but it should have been on console too, or at
I mean,
least
talk
PC.
about like back to the Pictomancer thing, but talk about such an out of character thing for a game. I know there's guns in Final Fantasy VII, but who playing Final Fantasy VII? Like that demographic is not the battle royale demographic.
Sure.
I mean, talk about
There are a lot of
just a
guns in
weird
Soldier.
decision.
In fact, I
Yeah.
think everyone uses guns in Soldier. No, at Shinra except for Soldier.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
You know, I mean, think about
Yeah.
it. Everybody uses guns at Shinra, but the soldiers all use melee weapons
They
that I
sure
can think
do.
of.
I
So
don't know, man. I just think it's mobile gaming is just not Square Enix mobile gaming especially.
yeah, it's
And
made
I
me
don't mean
nervous, and
I
it's
didn't mean to upset anybody who enjoyed Opera Omnia, but I do stay firmly that I think investing in these games large quantities of money is wildly a bad idea.
well. Here's the thing, though, and with Opera Amount, whatever it's called, that one had been around for a while, though, right?
It had,
I mean,
yeah, which
that
makes
one
it
had
even
been around.
scarier.
And normally when they're around that long, that's a little bit safer that they're gonna just kinda, like, hang out. And from what I understand, and this is completely anecdotal from what I've seen on the internet, so take it with a grain of salt. What I understand is it was doing better than some of their other mobile games. Like, it was one of the ones that was actually, like, performing okay, which just makes it more like, what is their criteria for shutting all this stuff down? I don't know.
Maybe to get Seven Ever Crisis to do better.
I don't know. I don't know, dude.
I mean, I think his name is Spickle, but he was an Opera Omnia content creator.
Oh, I bet he's
And
back.
I don't even know what he's making now. Let's see. Yeah, I don't even know what he's making now. He's making content on looks like I've been seeing a lot of Lost Odyssey, by the way, on my Twitter feed.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, I
wow.
haven't
Isn't
thought
that
about Lost Odyssey in a while.
it's so me neither. It's so random. I can't tell what he's playing, but he's playing some other mobile game, maybe like a Dragon Ball one or something.
Okay.
I don't know. Or Honkai Star Rail. That's the big one everybody's playing.
I've heard of that one too.
Yeah. But
So,
I don't know. It's just, I mean, for content creators, it is really sad. But I don't know, man. Just
but like, look at
it,
like Pokemon Go. That one's been around so long that if you were to spend money on it, it's pretty safe to assume that it's not going anywhere anytime soon,
yeah.
right? And I think, again, I don't know how long it was around, but I think Opera Omni, again,
I
Opera.
say Omnia. I
I
don't
feel like
know.
had been around enough to where it was kind of in that space to where like, okay, this one's a little bit safer to do. And yeah, no, I'm getting to the point to where I don't trust Square Enix to leave stuff up, with the
Nope, me
exception
neither.
of their heavy hitters like 14. So
Well, if they ever shut 14 down, I mean, that's kind of
14 is just printing money. If they ever shut
yeah,
14 down, they might as well close the doors. I mean, the thing's just
yeah.
printing money.
It's
So
it's a it's a pretty good game where they have it right now. I mean, I don't know why it's getting new players every day. That would be dumb.
yep.
I'm surprised they haven't shut 11 down.
I think it's still making money. I mean, at this point, they don't have to do anything, and people are paying a monthly subscription. I
Yeah,
mean, they've gone into maintenance mode, officially in maintenance mode. So they said they were doing that a couple years ago. Then they had a whole new story that they put out. That finally ended in 2023, and now they are officially in maintenance mode. So there will be no more content updates for the future of Final Fantasy XI. The game is effectively over, but
that's sad.
it is sad. But it's also been 25 years, you know, like or 20. What is it? What it's been? I started playing this game in oh my god, I
WoW's
think like
having their
8th grade.
20th anniversary this year,
So
and
it's
I
got to be like
think this
25.
game came out in 2001 or 2.
I think 1.
Then it
I
would
think
be 24, 23.
so yeah, it's coming up. I mean, 2.5 decades, right?
Yeah.
Maintenance, it is sad. I was sad when I read it, but maintenance mode after 25 years,
You should get back into 14. You should play
uh,
the free server with me.
you mean 11?
That's exactly what I'm at.
I there's a part of me, there's a part of my heart that never left 11. Okay.
You should play the free server with me. We should stream it and make it a slow series.
So
'Cause
hard.
we'll be together.
No,
Well,
we need if it's the original game, we need 4 other people.
All
We
right.
cannot play that whole game as a duo.
TJ, this game is free.
If we are trying to get okay, hold on. If we are trying to get TJ into an MMO, 11 is not the place to start him. Okay, that game is old school. Especially the private server is so old school.
Oh no, don't say. Well, we can pug some people, and then we can. I don't know. I'm sure there's plenty of people.
My
playing
fondest gaming memories are from 11, but
my fondest gaming memories are from 9.
But I am in a totally different place. I cannot spend 9 hours in a party staying up till 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, but imagine how fun it would be if we just play for like 2 hours and I progress so slow.
Oh, it would be slow too. Yeah,
2 hours every week, and then when I come down to your house and everybody's asleep, we can just sit on that table and we can relive our childhood memories and play until 3 a.m.
Dude, that sounds great. But counterpoint, we could spend that 2 hours a week doing our raid in 14.
Perfect. Even better.
So, dude, I think that this has been a triumphant return to podcasting. We've gone an hour. It's been our longest podcast in a while because we've been keeping them around 45 minutes. Do you have anything, closing thoughts, closing remarks you'd like to leave?
Any
Final Fantasies?
Any Final Fantasies? No, I think we went through everything. Pictomancer looks cool.
Yeah.
Blade is my new main. Viper, not Blade. I change my main every expansion.
I don't know what game I'm playing.
I don't know what I'm doing. Every expansion, they release a new edgier thing that I think is cool. So,
which is weird because I'm the edgy one, right? When it comes to characters, I'm the edgy guy.
When it comes to ninja-like stuff, though,
okay, sure.
That's all me.
But when you say edgy, I'm like Squall. I'm like, yeah, like I am the edgy people. Give me the emo guys.
I'm still upset we didn't get a pirate class, by the way. That's what I really wanted as a Corsair. But Viper's close enough, and I'll take it.
There's only going to be 2, right? 2 classes.
There's only going to be 2, I believe. I'll take it, and I'll be happy. I'm going to main that. Pictomancer might end up being my main. It's just so freaking cool.
Yeah.
And...
new race, female Hrothgar. We didn't even talk about that. They're bringing in female Hrothgar, so I totally forgot to do that. So now there are no gender-locked classes, right?
So far. There'll probably be more.
Or generous races, I mean. Because Hrothgar were the last holdout, right?
Yeah.
Because we had no. They're not Mithra in this game. What are they called? My 11 is showing.
Makote?
Makote.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that My 11 is showing.
You said Mithra. I was like, that's from Xenoblade 2. What are you talking about?
No, that's what the race is called.
Yeah.
So now I think that's good. I think that's good. So they look pretty cool too. I had just forgotten that was the
new races in Dawntrail. I feel like Dawntrail would have been a good time to introduce a new race.
Yeah. Man, we haven't gotten one in a while, right? Have we gotten one since Stormblood?
We got like a brand new race. We got one in Shadowbringers. We got the Bunny Girls and the Hrothgar.
Those come that late?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shadowbringers. Shadowbringers, not Endwalker. Yeah, Shadowbringers.
Yeah,
that's
we
right.
got Bunny Boys.
Bunny Boys.
Bunny Boys. We get a group of levelers and we should all make Bunny Boys.
Bunny Boys. Yeah.
But that is that came out in Endwalker, Bunny Boys.
Yeah.
Now we got Cat Girls. As an addition to our already Cat Girls.
Now we got Galka. See, that's
I don't know. We're boring. We play humans.
We do. Here's actually.
We play here's the basics. But I just can't I can't bring myself to the main character in me can't imagine being a cowboy. It has to be a here. The main character in me has to be a here.
So I don't have that problem because I'm a big RPer with D&D. But when I developed my 14 character, I developed them specifically to look as close as possible to my 11 character. And my 11 character was your basic here guy. Hume there. So I gave him some facial hair. That's the only difference. And of course, older. The polygons. Yeah,
he got older.
So anyway, with that, I think that'll be it. So this is the 2024. We are back, episode 110. Be sure to check out our new website, highwindherald.com. You can still go to the old one. We got a link to it where you can find all of our past episodes and show notes. But our new website does list our recent ones that we've released. We have the thumbnail for the newest one, basically the description of that, kind of what we talked about that week. I'm doing a screenshot of the week, so just kind of something fun to do there. If you're interested in D&D or tabletops, I am streaming on Twitch at Wolfkin's TTRPG, same handle on YouTube. Final Fantasy related, we do have Kupo Quest. That is here on the Highwind Herald YouTube channel. That is a 5e, closing on 50 episodes, so still a good time to jump in. We are right now battling through an Empire-occupied Cornelia. So, interesting times going on. And then I've got a lot of new shows that I'm kind of starting up on my own channels as well. And then keep an eye out for more stuff on Highwind Herald, because like Solo has said, he's going to be doing some more content for this for this channel in particular. So, and if you're just listening to the podcast, we appreciate your continued support through the podcast too. We will still just be doing this primarily as an audio, we try to keep our visual cues to a minimal, except for randomly forgetting and showing the camera stuff. So if you are that's a pencil. If you are just listening to the podcast or have been listening for the past 109 episodes, nothing's going to change for you, except we should get back to more consistent posting.
Yes.
Except based on our new schedule, we're probably moving back to Friday releases. We had shifted to Monday because
I had to switch off of our Thursday recording days.
Yeah.
So I screwed it up again.
Yeah. And I need more than just one day. So I was like, okay,
Because
but now we're recording earlier in the week, so back to Friday releases, I think. So
I'm shifting a lot of content around, looking into getting into some TCG content.
Yeah.
Because I'm spending a lot of money on the One Piece game, and I play weekly every Thursday, and I would like to make content out of it. So
Sure.
it's just so because I'm spending a lot of money on the game, so maybe I can make some of that money back. But so I stream that. I stream the simulator, and I still stream MMOs. So check me out too on Twitch.
All right. With that, I think that's it for this week. We will be back. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about next week. We will go over our New Year's resolutions for this year. We'll make some new ones. Look back and see what we did and didn't do right last time. And just talk some more. We'll see what comes up. If not, we do have some back issue stuff to talk about. So with that, I think that'll do it, man.
Heck yes.
Thanks for talking. Again, we're looking to raid. If you want, just let us know.
Hit us up.
Bye.
Peace out, Scouts.